Welcome, good evening to Monday Night Inspiration with Mr. Purpose. How was your weekend? How has your day been? This is the start of a new week. Today may just be the beginning of the very best days of your life based on the decisions you take. All right, tonight I'm talking about the transforming power of vision in the pursuit of purpose. The transforming power of vision in the pursuit of purpose. I have 100 benefits on vision that I don't think I'll be able to exhaust it in this live video teaching, and we're going to talk about the definition of vision, the source of vision, the benefits of vision, and how to catch a vision. And this sounds like it's going to be a series beyond just this Monday. I want to welcome you to the beginning of the best days of your life. I'm extremely excited because today reminds me, the date actually reminds me of the day that I took a big step into fulfilling purpose with my purpose partner, and it's been 35 months of glorious, beautiful, purposeful marriage to my best friend. I call her my favorita. So shout out to you, my lovely wife. God bless you for believing in the vision that I showed you, that made you leave your father's house, leave your mother, and to cleave to me. And we are evolving and growing and becoming more purposeful, more productive, more synergized as a couple. And we are going to change our world for Jesus and for the kingdom, bringing the dimension of the wisdom that God has placed in our hearts. So, sweetheart, I blow you this kiss on this date, September 19th, though it's 11 months. It's 2 years and 11 months of glorious marriage. It was themed Return to Eden. And for all those who have supported us from the beginning till this point, we appreciate you. But I'm not talking about marriage tonight. We're talking about the transforming power of vision in the pursuit of purpose. By the way, as a man, you need to learn how to sell your vision correctly to the woman that you desire to marry, for her to follow you. You need to be articulate in communicating that vision to that woman. If you want to marry a great woman, you must be a great communicator, and it begins more with your actions and also how you verbally write the seeds or plant the seeds of a glorious future into the womb of that woman that you desire to follow you into marriage. Tonight I'm going to start from some definitions of vision that they are personal to me, and some definitions I've seen in some books written by mentors that have shaped my thinking and shaped the world over a couple of years now. But I want you to know that no matter how great a seed is, the forest is trapped in it until it finds the right environment. No matter how great a seed is, the forest is trapped within it until it finds the right environment. No matter how powerful you are potentially, no matter how great God's dream for your life is, no matter how great your purpose, which you have discovered is, all of that discovery is trapped within you until you find the right environment. And one of the forces that God uses to bring the dream He planted in your heart, or the purpose that He has revealed to you, to pass, is the force of vision. You cannot separate vision from purpose. You cannot separate the fulfillment of your purpose from the force of vision. Once you catch and you are impregnated by God with a real vision, your purpose will be birthed. the steps to take will be clear to you. But all of that greatness, all of that great future is trapped within you, within a seed, until you find the right environment. So this live video is an environment that you can bring into your own home, bring into your heart, to get inspiration, to get quality information. You also need rain, so you must surround yourself with people that are like rain. You must put yourself in an environment that waters the dream of your future. All right. Another thing I want you to know is that some people are so busy trying to fit in, they forget to stand out. Some people are so busy trying to fit in into everyday life, trying to fit into the trends, trying to fit into societal expectations of their lives. And they forget that God actually put them on this earth to make a difference. My friend, you are not given the breath of life just to fit in. You are not given the breath of life just to blend in. You were created by God for a special purpose. And that purpose might require that you stand out. Some people are so busy trying to fit in, they forget to stand out. For you to fulfill God's purpose for your life, you must take some steps that will be radical. It might not make sense to a lot of people around you, but once you are pregnant with God's vision, God's purpose, He will also empower that purpose with the force of vision. So don't blend in. Don't blend into societal expectations for your life. Don't blend into public opinion. Nobody comes into dominion when they are concerned about public opinion. Now, the third important thing I want you to know is that your creation, you are God's response to a need that He knew will exist in this generation. Your birth, your creation is God's response to a situation or a problem that He knew will exist in this generation. You are God's answer to a specific problem in this generation. You are God's answer to a problem that He knew would exist in this generation. And for you to fulfill that purpose, you need to engage the force of vision. Now, what is vision? What is vision? Vision, in my definition, is an indispensable and intangible force that dominates you and influences you to produce unbelievable but tangible, undeniable results. I'm going to say that again. Vision is an indispensable and intangible force that dominates you and also influences you to produce unbelievable but tangible results. You need the force of vision. You need to be conscious of this truth, that without vision, you cannot enter into God's best for your life. Until you are pregnant with the future, you will only give birth to the past. Until you are pregnant with the future that God has for you, you will keep giving birth to your past. Until you are pregnant with the future God has for you, you keep giving birth to your past. To change the direction of your life, you must engage the force of vision. A desirable future is birthed only from a desirable picture. A desirable future is only birthed from a desirable picture that is alive in your heart, that is alive within your spirit, that is alive within your soul. When you are pregnant with a real vision from God, you are like a pregnant woman. When you are pregnant as a woman, women will know this. Your baby might not be showing, your baby bumps may not be showing to anyone, but you just know that you are pregnant and it's just a matter of time. And when you do the right things within the given stipulated time, your baby bumps will show. And someday you will hold your baby in your hands. Vision is also like that. It's like a pregnancy. Once you are pregnant with a desirable future that comes from a desirable picture, then your daily actions will change. I'm going to talk about the benefits of vision. I have about 100 to share with you. But let me just talk about this. Many are the eyes that look, but few are the eyes that see. The reason why a lot of people don't recognize the opportunities that life sends their way, that God brings their way, is because they are not yet pregnant with the force of vision. They are not pregnant with a desirable future. They are not yet aware that the forces of life that create momentum, that creates and helps people to create a better future, many of these forces are invisible forces. The law of vision, one of the first laws of vision, states that you must believe. You must believe it in your heart. If no other person around you believes it, you must believe it. When a woman is pregnant, everybody around her may not be aware, may not know, but she will know, and you must believe that there's a baby in your womb, and that will affect what you decide to eat on a daily basis. That would affect what you do when somebody wants to engage you in a physical combat. You remember that you are pregnant. You believe that you are pregnant. It might not be showing yet, but it alters your daily behavior. The reason why a lot of people are procrastinating about pursuing their purpose is because they are not yet pregnant with that vision. They're not pregnant with their purpose as a vision of something they must do. When you become pregnant with the vision of God for your life, based on the purpose that you discovered He has created you for, your actions will change on a daily basis. Many are the eyes that look, few are the eyes that see. Many are the eyes that look, few are the eyes that see. I can never forget the story of how the Disney World was birthed. Walter Disney, the founder of Disney cartoons, he saw a piece of land that was being used at that time as like a refuse dump site. But because he was pregnant with the vision of the Disney World that presently exists in the United States of America today, he saw that environment as the opportunity for him to plant the seed of his vision. He shared it with a friend, but the guy was not seeing what he was seeing. So he chose, and he said, let's buy this land from the American government. But his friend said, you want to buy this dump site that is used for a refuse dump. He could not see what Walter Disney was saying. And many years later, when the Disneyland was being launched, unfortunately, the visionary had died. That's Walter Disney. And the journalists were interviewing his wife, and they said, oh, your husband Walter, I'm sure he would have wished to be alive to see the launch of his dream today, but it's so unfortunate that he's not alive to see it. And his wife said something so powerful. She said, he saw it. That's why we are here today. He saw it, and that's why we are here today. And the journalist was wowed. Many are the eyes that look, but few are the eyes that see. Thank you, Spirit of Circle, for joining from Canada, Toronto. Thank you for joining. Wherever you are joining us from, please could you just type it in the comment section. Many are the eyes that look, few are the eyes that see. What empowers you to see opportunities, even in the midst of difficulties, is the force of vision. Is the force of vision. I can never forget another story that I read of a young man that was used as a model. He was brought from the slum and he was used as a model. When he was brought from the slum, by the business consultant. His hair was overgrown, his nails were overgrown, he was looking dirty and all. He looked like a piece of trash, but he actually had beautiful eyes and was actually very handsome. So this consultant used him as a model to help a barber open his shop. And they put a picture of before and a picture of after. He was looking rough and very untidy in the first picture. And then in the second picture, the barber gave him a haircut. They bought him a nice piece of suit, and he wore that. And they took another shot of after. And then they also asked him to come to the barber's launch, to the opening of his barbing saloon. It was a marketing strategy to get people to begin to patronize that barber. And, that strategy worked. But some weeks later, another guy wanted to also open his business. So he went looking for that guy. He wanted a model. So he went to the barber and said, I would like you to give me the contact to the model that you used. He was a very handsome guy. And the barber said, well, I don't know him. It was my consultant that brought him to me, and I just gave him a haircut. To cut a long story short, he told him the neighborhood where he was contacted from, and this man went in search of this same guy. Let's give him a pseudo name. Let's say his name is Michael. So he went in search of Michael, and when he got to the environment, he saw that it was a slum, and he had a picture in his hand of what he looked like after the haircut. And he asked everybody in that neighborhood, I'm looking for Michael. I'm looking for this man here in this picture. He's a model, and I would like to engage him again for my own official business launch. And everybody in the neighborhood said, we don't know him. Nobody like this lives here. Can't you see this place is a poor neighborhood? And he kept searching, and he found the guy sitting down in a corner under a staircase in that street. He had gone back to how he was looking before, looking rough, looking unkempt. His hair had overgrown, his nails had overgrown, his mustache and beard looking like a forest in the middle of the savannah. And he was so shocked and looked at the picture and said, are you not the guy in this picture here 6 weeks ago? And Michael said to him, well, that was me, and that's what they tried to make me look like, but this is who I really am. What happened there? He went back to how he used to be, because nothing had changed on the inside, though his physical conditions changed. They gave him a haircut, they bought him a new suit, but the personal vision he had of himself had not changed. Transformation is an inside job. Transformation is an inside job, and it happens when you become pregnant with the vision of God's purpose for your life being fulfilled to full capacity. Now, let me begin to give you some of the benefits of vision. The first benefit that I have here is that vision amplifies your strength. When you engage the force of vision, it amplifies your strength. In the case of the story of Samson, when the hand of God came upon him, the Spirit of God came upon him, Samson became literally another man. The strength he never knew he had came back to him, and towards the end of his life, he had lost his sight due to his bad choice of allowing Delilah into his secret. But the Bible says that Samson remembered again and just prayed, Lord, give me my strength once again. So vision amplifies your strength. Okay, another thing that vision does is vision affects your emotions. Vision affects your emotions. You can't really be pregnant with a real vision of a great future and be depressed. In the case of Hannah, she had been barren for a while. Then she contacted the real spirit of vision after she prayed, and she became pregnant with Samuel even before she had him physically in her womb. She became pregnant with him in her spirit, and she was no longer sad. The Bible says, and her countenance was no longer sad. When you are pregnant with the real vision of your great future, your emotions will be altered. You will not feel broke, busted, or disgusted anymore, even though your bank balance may still be in red. You won't allow your bank balance knock you off balance. The force that gives you stability in the midst of instability is the force of vision. The third thing that vision does for you, the third, it gives you access into your imagination. Oh wow, this is very powerful. Vision gives you access into your imagination. I said earlier, many are the eyes that look, few are the eyes that see. Few are the eyes that see. God gave us our physical eyes for sight, but He gave us our imagination for insight. And what helps you make correct decisions that will alter your destiny and your destiny that will bring you to the desired destination is the force of your imagination. A lot of people's imaginations are closed. The eyes of their minds are blinded by the circumstances around them, so they can't see the great future God has for them. They can't see themselves come out of poverty. They can't see themselves come out of that situation. And so they are trapped in the prison walls of their current condition. Vision gives you access into your imagination, because God knows that that imagination He gave you is a ticket into your future that helps you create the future realities as if it was now. And once you can see that future, you begin to believe it, you begin to behave like the picture you see, and eventually you would have what you see. These are the laws of creation. Until you can see it, you cannot believe it. And if you don't believe it, you won't behave it. And if you don't behave it, you can't have it. Access into your imagination. And that's what God was doing in the life of Father Abraham. When He told him, Abraham, come out from where you are and begin to count the stars. At that time, Abraham had no child. He was 75 years old. Every other aspect of his life was working except for the ability to give birth to a biological child. And God was telling him, I'm going to make you the father of many nations. And this man was without a child, and he could not understand what God was trying to say to him. It didn't make sense to him naturally. So God had to open up his imagination and gave him a daily exercise to unlock the power of his imagination, and told him to count the stars. And as Abraham began to count the stars, God told him, so shall the number of your children be. And the stars are numberless. And eventually Abraham believed God. That's what the Bible says. And Abraham believed God, and it was credited into his account for righteousness. Your future is only an imagination away. And there's a nation where all things are possible, and that nation is the nation of imagination. The nation where all things are possible is the nation of imagination. Can you see yourself come out of lack into great abundance? Can you see yourself become the most sought after in your industry? Can you see it? Vision is what gives you access into your imagination. Let me quickly say this. Some scientists gathered two sets of basketballers and took one set to the basketball court and told them to throw the basketball into the rim. And they did these free shots continuously, and they took them into the lab and checked the nerves within their brain that was active during that exercise. And they took note of the nerve. Then they took the other set of basketballers into a room and told them to sit on a chair and imagine themselves throwing the basketball into the rim like a free throw. And they did that for some minutes and took this second set into the lab and checked which nerve in their brain was active, and discovered that the same nerve that was active with the set of basketballers that were physically throwing the ball into the rim was the same nerve that was active in those who just sat down and imagined it. That's such a powerful discovery. Once you begin to imagine a greater version of you, imagine yourself impacting lives, being invited to events, if you are a master of ceremony, if you're a comedian, if you're a singer, whatever it is, and you get a real vision into your heart, and you begin to see yourself make a huge positive difference in the lives of people, it will eventually happen. It will correct the wrong posture of your mindset and give you the right energy you need on a daily basis to do the next thing I'm going to talk about. Vision, the fourth benefit of vision. Vision gives you the beginning steps towards great increases. Vision gives you the beginning steps towards great increases. Listen, my dear friends. All great visionaries know this, that great things happen when we take small steps daily towards our big dreams. Great things happen when you take small steps daily towards your big dreams. Great things happen when you take small steps daily towards your big dreams. But the reason why a lot of people have not seen great progress in their lives is because they have not even begun that idea. Everything you are enjoying today started as an idea. But if you never start, you will not become an expert. If you don't begin the journey, you will never actualize the dream. You don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. Job 8 verse 7 says, your beginning might be small, but your latter end will greatly, mightily, speedily increase. Okay? Your beginnings might be small, but your latter end will greatly increase. And what gives you the capacity to begin is the force of vision. It's the transforming power of the force of vision. The fifth benefit of vision, vision gives you boldness in the face of contradiction or contrary evidence. David is our case study here. He was facing Goliath, but he had a vision of victory even before he faced Goliath. He even painted it vividly. He painted that picture, crisp picture of what was going to happen to Goliath, because he was also informed. Another thing you must do that fuels your capacity to dream and take steps is you must ask yourself, what is in need for me if I fulfill this purpose? What is in need for me if I solve this problem for my nation, for my community? What is in need for me if I transform and I become this version of me that I'm seeing in my mind? What is in need for me? David asked, what is the reward that will be given to the man that knocks down this giant, that kills this giant? For you to move forward in life, you might need to ask yourself the question, what is the reward? What is the reward that in pursuing this dream? What is the reward? What are the benefits in me sacrificing my money to go take that course? What is the need for me? Quitting my job to start that business. What is the need for me to answer God's call to start that ministry? What are the rewards? It is when you know the rewards that you will be willing to go forward. David was willing to go forward to face Goliath when he knew the reward, but what gave him boldness was the transforming power of vision. The sixth benefit of vision, vision gives you the capacity to bless those who hurt you when you are in the process of becoming a success. Vision gives you the capacity to bless those who hurt you and not to curse them or not to want to revenge like Joseph did when his brothers came into the fullness of his vision, when his vision had come into fruition after 17 years. Joseph's vision came to pass. Joseph had been so transformed, his brothers could not recognize him. But it was the force of vision that also helped him have grace and not seek revenge. Because when your vision comes to pass, when you have been transformed by God, transformed into the new version of you, you will be tempted to want to take a pound of flesh from those who hurt you, or from those who despise you, or from those who failed to lift their hands to help you. But vision will give you the capacity to serve them the best form of revenge, which is forgiveness. The best form of revenge is forgiveness. It is vision. Vision gives you the big picture. It makes you see that God had a hand in the script of your life. And everything that you endured was so that you can enjoy. You endured the pit and the prison so that you can enjoy the palace. And when you endure, you would enjoy the success. When you endure the process, you will enjoy the success. Somebody's season is changing. Somebody's about to encounter a season of shiftings. And your time for that transformation is now. I make bold to say somebody is watching this video now that will have a testimony of your mess becoming your message, your test turning to your testimony, because you chose to pursue God's purpose, and God's purpose cannot be opposed. God's purpose cannot be stopped. But the only person that can stop you is you. And God has given you the capacity to forgive. And what empowers that capacity is the force of vision. So the seventh benefit of vision helps you to be committed despite obstacles that you will see. Vision helps you to stay committed to the process of your dream, no matter the obstacles that you would encounter. Obstacles are necessary hurdles that you must scale on the path to becoming the champion that you were destined to be. For example, we have a Nigerian young athlete, a 25-year-old girl doing Nigeria proud, Toby Amuson. All the times that she has won those races, she had to skip over a lot of obstacles. She's the 100-meter world record holder today. You have to go over obstacles to get to your promised land. You need to know this ahead of time, especially for you teenagers and young people of this generation. Obstacles are necessary hurdles on the path to fulfilling God's purpose. And what keeps you committed is the force of vision. There's a story that always comes to mind when I'm talking about commitment. There were 4 friends who carried their 4 guys who had a 5th guy on a stretcher who was sick. The Bible didn't give us their names, but just said there were 4 guys. And their vision and their purpose for coming together was to get this friend of theirs to Jesus Christ. Jesus was in a house where there was a lot of crowd. There was no way through the door. They tried the door, they tried the window, and the crowd was so much that they had no access through the legal channels into that house. But the story has it that they created a way through the roof and lowered their friend down to Jesus. When Jesus saw their faith, he saw their commitment, he got excited, and that guy got his healing. Another thing, I didn't list that here, that you must surround yourself with the right association. You must surround yourself with people that are willing to risk their own lives, risk their resources to ensure that your dream comes to pass. But one of the things I picked from that story is that this guy must have invested heavily in the relationships he had with these 4 men. For them to have been so committed must have been because he sowed the seeds that were necessary for them to respond in love like this. So vision gives you the capacity to be committed to the process despite the obstacles you face. Commitment is that resolve that you make even before you begin the journey, that this journey will end only in one outcome. I will succeed. I will become the champion I was destined to be. I will not give up. I will not turn back. I will turn every setback as a setup for a super comeback. The 8th benefit of vision is that vision helps you to be creative. It gives you the creativity to multiply resources. Vision gives you the creativity to multiply resources even in the midst of scarcity. Jacob had to engage the force of vision. It's called the law of visualization. When he had to leave his boss, Laban, he had to engage the power of vision to transform the resources available. If you go and read the story in Genesis, I think Genesis 32 or thereabout, if you see the story, you will see that it was vision. God gave him an instruction, and that fueled his action, and he was able to overcome. I'll give you 2 more benefits and we'll be done for tonight. Okay? Vision also empowers you to choose wisely when there is strife between you and someone, maybe you and your business partner. When you have the right mindset, you will always be on top. When you have the right mindset, you will choose wisely when there's strife. Now, at times, you might encounter disagreements between you and either a business partner or a close relative or a close friend. When you are pregnant with God's vision, when you are pregnant with the desire to fulfill your purpose, you will know that strife is not an option. Arguments. Have you ever seen an 8-month-old pregnant woman in a tussle, in a physical combat, just because somebody is trying to cheat her of maybe just maybe $10? For those in America, or if you are a Nigerian, a woman, she boards a bus or takes an Uber, and the Uber is giving her some difficulties, and then she decides to physically engage in a battle. She's conscious that I'm heavily pregnant with my future. I'm heavily pregnant with a baby. Once you are pregnant truly with a desirable picture of the future, an indispensable, intangible, but very real picture of a better version of you, of a great future, you will not engage in strife. You will forgive people easily. Abraham and Lot. Abraham was the one that God called to go into the land that he will show him, and Lot followed him, and Lot began to prosper. Abraham told Lot at the point, my headsmen and your headsmen are always at loggerheads, because they were now increasing at a faster pace and a faster rate than the land available. So Abraham said, Lot, you need to choose. We can't be fighting. And Lot made one of the worst mistakes of his life. He looked up and chose for himself the plain and the land of Sodom and Gomorrah. Now, when you make your choices in life, not through the eyes of vision, you just want to relocate out of Nigeria. For Nigerians who are relocating now to different parts of the world, I have nothing against you traveling, but if you're traveling all in the name of you want to escape from this nation, you are going to come back someday and discover that some of us that stayed, that watered the patches, have now created green pastures, that the grass is only green on the side where it is watered. You will come back someday and realize that the land is truly green. Nigeria is a blessed nation. Nigeria is going to fulfill her prophetic destiny. I see with the eyes of vision that this nation, saviors will rise out of this nation, out of every industry. Leaders will rise from the political into the political sector. God is grooming the people that will change Nigeria and bring about the vision over this nation, that Nigeria will become one of the most desirable nations to live in. And the proof of that is all the problems we have today is the proof that there are several solutions. And some of those solutions are watching this video, or will watch this video sometime in the future. Your purpose was to be one of the solutions to the many problems of Nigeria or the nation you're watching me from. But back to what I was saying, vision helps you choose wisely when there's a strife. And Abraham chose with the eyes of vision. Lot departed from Abraham with the lots of trouble that he was carrying the baggage some people bring into relationships. Some people bring baggage from the past into relationships, and they are not able to make wise choices. They fight over every little thing. Even if the relationship was ordained by God, if you are carrying a negative baggage from your past, it will disempower you from choosing wisely. Choose your battles in your relationships. Let me just talk to women. Choose your battles wisely. Don't fight over everything. Don't try to be right all the time. That's not how you become Mrs. Right. You don't have to be right all the time. You must let go of your ego if you want that relationship to mature and grow into marriage. For those who are still in courtship. And the last but not the least point, I've done 9. The 10th benefit of vision. This is so powerful. Vision gives you the capacity to delay gratification, to avoid fornication, to avoid eating your future today. Vision gives you the power to delay gratification and avoid fornication. Excuse me, I'm not referring only to sexual sin, that's premarital sex. The story of Joseph and Esau. I'm going to use 2 Bible characters again, Joseph and Esau. Joseph had a very sweet temptation laid before him, but that had a bitter conclusion if he had taken that meal. And that was a bed full of roses to sleep with his master's wife, that's Potiphar's wife. But if he had slept with her, he would have also discovered that some roses have thorns in them. Okay? Not all that looks attractive is good. Some attractive things are destructive, leads to destructive endings. Distraction is the enemy of distinction. If you are not pregnant with a real vision, you will not have the willpower to delay gratification, to say no, not now. Some of you are making money now, but you are blasting everything. You spend everything you make because you think that season is going to last forever. Joseph, the wise prime minister, again, he avoided fornication when he was a slave. When he was a slave and also a houseboy, it was also that mindset that made him become prime minister. When he gave Pharaoh that wise counsel that there are going to be 7 years of abundance and then 7 years of famine, and he gave the interpretation and also was in charge of the execution. Now let's flip the story. Esau was the twin brother to Jacob. He was the firstborn. He was the one who had the right to receive the blessing, but he negotiated his future away for a bowl of porridge because he could not delay gratification. The story has it that he came back from hunting. He was tired. He was frustrated. He was exasperated by all the hustling and bustling. And then he made a decision when he was in desperation and he needed food. And he said, "What is this birthright? What good is it?" And he traded that away and sold his future for a plate of food. For a plate of food. When you don't have the right perspective of how great you are, you will make stupid decisions in the present. When you are not conscious of the ultimate picture of your life, you will make immediate decisions that would alter that picture. I'm going to stop here for today. The transforming power of vision in the pursuit of purpose. I've shared 10 powerful points this evening of the 10 benefits out of the 100 benefits of vision that I have. The number one benefit, and if you've observed correctly, I said there is A, B, C, and I've shared 3 points for each letter. A, the first one, it amplifies your strengths, it affects your emotions, it gives you access into your imagination. Okay, the fourth, it gives you beginnings towards great increases. Beginnings toward great increases. If you never start, you will not become an expert. The fifth gives you boldness in the face of contradiction. Gives you boldness in the face of contradiction. There are some of you, you need to make a decision either to quit a job, quit a relationship. Some of you might need to come back to Nigeria. Some might need to go out of Nigeria. Whatever your vision is saying, it gives you the boldness in the face of contradiction. Some of you need to sell your car to start a new business, to start that dream business. Whatever it is, the boldness that you require comes from the energy of vision. The sixth benefit of vision gives you the capacity to bless those who hurt you when you have come into the fullness and the fruition of your vision is evidence for all to see. The seventh benefit of vision keeps you committed despite obstacles. The four friends that brought that sick friend of theirs to Jesus in spite of the obstacles they faced. It gives you the capacity to be creative, to multiply resources. Jacob used the law of visualization to multiply what was available. Jesus, our great Savior, multiplied 5 loaves of bread and 2 fishes using the force of vision. Told the people to sit down. Disciples could not see a way out of it, but the force of vision showed him what to do. It helps you multiply little resources and they become many. Number 9, vision will give you the capacity to choose wisely when there is strife. Now, strife is like having a weight, dead weight in your spirit because of an offense that somebody committed against you. If you've ever taken a plane before at the airport, your bags will always be weighed. And when you have when your bag is overweight, you can't get on the flight to take you to your destination. When you are in strife, you have weight in your spirit, you have weight in your soul, and that will disqualify you from getting on the flight of faith or flight into destiny, and that can delay you in some seasons. And the last but not the least, vision gives you the capacity to delay gratification. It gives you the capacity to postpone enjoyment to a future date so that you avoid the sin of fornication. Because there's actually no fun in the action of fornication, whether it's premarital sex or rewarding yourself even before you have worked enough years for the kind of lifestyle that you are sponsoring. I believe this has blessed you greatly. If it blessed you, then join me again next week Monday for Monday Night Inspiration with Mr. Purpose. Tomorrow by 6 p.m. I'll be having a free coaching session right here for teenagers. We're starting the 5-star teen coaching series, 6 p.m. to 6:30, 30 minutes of free coaching. Please tell every teenager you know to meet me right here on Instagram. My name is Mr. Purpose. I'm Africa's #1 self-discovery and purpose discovery coach for teenagers and young people. And I want to wish you a great week ahead. Exceed as you proceed, and never forget you are the answer to a question that God knew would be asked in this generation. God bless you, and see you next week.